I think probably makes sense to dive straight into the brand safety score, since that's probably the biggest news this week. So why don't you describe that to the audience, and let's hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, it sounds good. So this came out over the last week where someone found in the API on Twitch, there's a new flag, or maybe it was there for a bit, but they just found it, of brand safety, which takes into a couple accounts like your partnership status and your auto mod settings and whether you've had any ban history, stuff like that, and basically adds tags to your account. And this has not been officially rolled out yet, so there's still some speculation as to whether it'll come and what it'll look like. But the idea is Twitch will be assigning a brand safety score to your channel based on your history of bans and theoretically how safe you are for brands to advertise on your channel. And this got really mixed feedback, I think, from people, depending on the perception of what this means. Some people are saying that, Twitch is going to mark you as someone who's not advertiser friendly and you won't get ads anymore. In reality, I think this is looking more like it's going to be introducing ad targeting, which they kind of mentioned towards the end of the API info there, is that hopefully this will give you more specific info on Twitch because we don't have ad targeting yet. So advertisers can kind of choose demographics and different types of viewers they want to market to, which would be pretty big in my opinion. But overall, there's a lot of, I think, gut backlash to this whole idea. Did you see any of that, Pete?
Yeah, I think probably the reason so many people were backlashing against this was because there was a couple of like choice phrases that were written into this API. So some things that would be stored on your account included a rating. I'll read it out verbatim. A rating of this streamer performed by a Twitch affiliated reviewer. So effectively you'd have like some kind of rating, whether that's a number between 1 and 10, or if it's like some kind of like text saying what kind of streamer you are. But people were taken back by the fact that there would be staff employed at Twitch who would be reviewing streamers and writing some code into their profile, which would basically describe what kind of rating they would have. So I saw a lot of backlash about that, and rightly so. But like you said, this to me is 100% just due to ads and brand safety and making sure that you can match ad providers with the right streamer. But I can see how people sort of took this the wrong way. It's good. It's good for the platform. Like all platforms will do this on some scale. YouTube has like loads of different safety guidelines on what kind of content you're producing and things like that. And they even have like a YouTube partner preferred. I can't remember the exact name of it, but like the cream of the crop ads go to these like, I don't know, 1,000 or 10,000 creators who are pulling in massive views. And I remember there was big talk about when Logan Paul had the Suicide Forest video and he got pulled from this like premium YouTube ads where the CPM is crazy high, and it's like really the cream of the crop on YouTube where they're pushing. So YouTube has this. It's not surprising that Twitch is implementing this, but because of the backlash, it looks like Twitch has now like responded, basically saying that they're removing this code from their API. It hadn't been introduced yet anyway. It was just sort of found by somebody that was interested in the API anyway. So that they kind of made it a bit unclear as to what they're going to be doing here and whether they're still going to be implementing it.
Yeah, I think they probably still will implement it if I had to guess. And it was just kind of leaked early, like you said. And I agree. Looking at other platforms like YouTube, ad targeting is so important. And I think it could be a really big win, actually, if this is done correctly. And I'd like to see more information out of the API, not just like ban history, but also if they can get some sort of demographics on viewer age and different things like that. Because right now, the Twitch ad revenue for people is kind of a joke. In terms of everything that I've seen, seems like no one's really making most of the revenue on ads unless you're a top 0.1% streamer and you can just press the print many button in that case. But for most people, I think ad revenue is a fraction of your overall revenue when it comes to Twitch compared to subs and sponsorships and stuff like that. But on YouTube side, I think the ad side is much more compelling. Still, I think you get more from sponsorships and things like that. But, looking at the difference between the platforms, ad targeting could help push Twitch to be more like YouTube in terms of what creators can get from ads if they're more effective and advertisers know that their ads are going to be hitting people that are more receptive to their products. So I think, again, it's actually a good thing, and there was an overreaction for this. We just have to see more official communication on Twitch's side of what it's like and how you can play around it and learn to use it to your advantage, assuming they actually roll it out. So I hope they push it out, but we'll kind of have to wait to see what they do there.
I mean, there's so many problems, isn't there, with the ad platform on Twitch? You could spend a whole hour talking about it, but one of the big ones is the split that like Twitch takes compared to you. And like you said, it's such a minimal amount of even full-time streamers' income is ads that run on your channel. So any improvement that they can do there, whether that's being able to specify more directly what advertisers should advertise on your content through some kind of like brand safety score, probably will help improve that number of how much money you can make through ads. But I think the difficulty from a streamer's point of view is it's another metric, isn't it? Like you could be working really hard to grow your stream and all the graphs are going in the right direction, but then you have that kind of anxiety hanging over you that if you do one thing wrong, you know, like if somebody, I don't know, donates money and includes a link that ends up showing something that you don't want to show on stream, that could completely ruin your brand safety score, and then, you know, your whole Twitch career could be over. So it's kind of similar to the strike system. It's an extra thing to be anxious about while streaming, and you know, having this like rating can definitely make you feel a little bit anxious about the whole thing, and you know, if you make any kind of mistakes. But I think yeah, it's like we've said, it's something that Twitch probably was always going to implement, and just maybe the fact that it was found like through code and the wording of some of the phrases in the code about like reviews and ratings and things like that made people probably backlash a little bit. But you know, people are very quick to backlash against Twitch now because they're such a big platform and they've made many bad decisions, but I don't necessarily think that this is one of them.
Yeah, I think, again, like you said, the intention is right. It just wasn't an official release, and it was kind of leaked and then, you know, fuel on the fire from Twitter for this kind of thing. So, but I agree with you, and you bring up a good point on the fact that it is live on Twitch, so you can't, you know, on YouTube, you have control over everything that goes out, so you have much more brand control in that sense, versus Twitch, you could have someone donate something or do something live in voice chat or things that you don't have as much control over, and so maybe you do have more anxiety around that brand score. So that's a good point. I think we'll kind of have to wait to see how they release it, but overall could be a really good win if they do it in a good way and that creators feel like they have control over the brand score and it's not just something that's set against them.